Whiteboards are one of the tools most frequently associated with threat modeling, and they've got some great properties. Everyone can see and point to the model of what we're working on. They're relatively democratic. Anyone can stand up and go and make changes to the whiteboard picture. They're iterative. They are inherently transient. We know they're just one stage. And when the pandemic hit, we lost some of those properties. We've lost a little bit of that iteration and transient nature. And sketching is an important part of helping us iterate and understand what we're working on, helping us get buy-in to the question. And so, working with some partners, I created these whiteboard books. Yes, we've got some dry erase notebooks. So my friends at Agile Stationery created these dry erase notebooks coated in polypropylene, which is the same stuff that's on the whiteboard on your wall. What I can do is I can sketch something, and I can go from a sketch to via iteration, and then I can transfer my sketch to a piece of software. And this process of iterating helps people improve the way they're thinking about the answers to what are we working on. We went a little bit beyond the dry erase notebook. We created some physical stencils that help you actually draw your threat model shape. So they've got your little rounded rectangles, they've got your external entities, they've got some documents. And so what you can do is you can actually draw. Here's my sketch. You can see my really bad handwriting. And from a sketch, maybe we should draw our sketch as an external entity. I'm just going to come down here, redraw my sketch. And then I go through a process. My process is iteration. So building something like this reminds us to have sympathy for people who are building products, because in building this, the first versions were not solid enough. We had to recast in a thicker acrylic, and some of the ways in which we drew don't necessarily work. And so I want to show you some data stores. So when I draw a data store, I can be old-fashioned. Draw my data store with two parallel lines, like that, the way stencils used to work. But I also have these drums, and it turns out that the drum looks like that. It's a little incomplete. It was hard to build this last little line, but you just shift your stencil, bada boom, bada bing, you've got your hard drive spinny data stores. The stencils are fun. They remind you and encourage you to iterate through, to draw what you're going to transfer into the software. We've got our little dry erase notebooks here. And on the back of your dry erase notebooks, they've got the 4 questions. They remind you what stride stands for. They've got a little stride per element table on them. All, it's just a little fun thing to help people threat model, to encourage them to think about it, and to give you a way to give them something, to give your developers, to give your engineers something that's going to help remind them to threat model in this quite stressful time.